Hello children, welcome back to the new session on the chapter Why Do We Fall Ill? Children, as you might be remembering, in our last session we had studied about the different causes of diseases, the different types of diseases, that is the acute and chronic diseases. I hope it's very clear to all of you. Now in this session we are going to study about infectious and non-infectious diseases and the means of spread of diseases. So let us go ahead with the chapter. Okay children, now we go over to our next content, that is the infectious or the communicable disease and the non-infectious or non-communicable diseases. Infectious diseases are caused by the infection of pathogens. Pathogens are parasitic organisms like the viruses, bacteria, worms, protozoa and fungi. The organism in which the pathogen lives and reproduces is called the host. Then what are non-infectious diseases? There are several diseases which are not caused by infectious agents. They also do not spread to the people coming in contact with sick people. The causes of such diseases are mostly internal factors and not the infectious ones. For example, some cancers are caused by genetic abnormalities. Thus, the diseases which are not caused by infectious agents are called non-infectious diseases. So with that, then we come to that end of this topic. They are the infectious and non-infectious. Infectious diseases are caused due to microbes, and non-infectious or non-communicable diseases are caused due to some internal factors like genetic abnormalities, you may say, some wrong way of living, some addictions, some unhealthy practices, or some lifestyle diseases that you say, like nowadays we have lifestyle diseases like blood pressure, sugar, obesity, cholesterol. These are all lifestyle diseases due to excessive stress or strain, lack of exercises, etc. We get all these diseases. They are all coming under the category of non-infectious diseases. They are not at all spread to any other person. But the other one, that means the infectious diseases, are caused due to the various microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi, etc. Children, you know that when you fall ill, you are taken to the doctor. The doctor gives you medicines. What are these medicines doing? They are actually killing the disease-causing microorganisms. So they are called antibiotics. The word antibiotics means, anti means against, biotics means organisms. The examples of antibiotics are streptomycin, tetracycline, erythromycin, penicillin, etc. What do they do? How do they act? They are actually made by certain bacteria or certain fungus. Now we go over to the infectious diseases and the means of spread of the diseases. Infectious diseases means and their means of spread. As I told you before, infectious diseases are spread through pathogens. They may spread from an infected person to a healthy person by several ways. The disease-causing microbes can spread through the air. This occurs through the little droplets thrown out by an infected person who sneezes or coughs. And as a result, someone standing close by gets a chance to start a new infection. Examples of such diseases spread through the air are common cold, pneumonia, and tuberculosis. Let us study about tuberculosis. It is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Humans become infected by inhaling the TB bacteria through the air. This implants in the lungs and they attack our immune cells. The immune cells attempt to destroy the bacteria. They prevent the spread of infection to eliminate the bacteria and to heal the infection. Some bacteria remain dormant and start multiplying. As a result, the infection becomes uncontrolled and damages the lung tissues and respiratory tract. Prevention. Avoid contact with the infected person. Kill the infected germs or kill the bacteria by using drugs. These are the different methods of preventing tuberculosis. Now let us go over to the diseases that are spread through food and water. The common example of such a disease is cholera. which occurs when a person has contaminated water. The disease-causing germs of cholera get mixed up in the drinking water used by the people, and it enters the host's body through the water they drink and cause a disease in them. Cholera is an acute infectious disease caused by a bacterium, Vibrio cholerae. The symptoms and the signs of the cholera are watery diarrhea, vomiting, rapid heart rate, and loss of blood, loss of water from the body, dry skin, thirst, and muscle cramps. It can be prevented by using water that has been boiled, water that has been chemically disinfected, or bottled water. Rehydration with ORS, that is oral rehydration solution, is a primary treatment for cholera. Apart from that, antibiotics are reserved for more severe cholera infection. They reduce the fluid rehydration volume and may speed up the recovery. Another method by means of which the infectious diseases are spread is by sexual contact. The sexual contact is one of the closest physical contact between two persons. As a result, the diseases like AIDS, syphilis, warts, etc. are spread. So these three are the most common examples of means of spread of diseases. That is, the diseases are spread through food or water, through air, and through sexual contact. Apart from that, there is also another method by which the infectious diseases are spread. That is through the vectors or through the carriers, we say. So let us see about the vectors in the next session. So children, as I was telling you, that now we will study something about the diseases spread through vectors. So before going into it detail, before going to the topic in detail, let us see a small video clip where according to the World Health Organization, what are the different vectors or who are the carriers of diseases, and how you can prevent the diseases through the vectors. Just watch this video. So I hope this video clip has given you some information about the vectors and how they can transmit diseases. That means through a small bite, they can be a threat to your life. So these are the measures, or these are the preventive measures against the vectors, and hope you take care from the vectors. Now we go over to our next topic, that is the organ specific and tissue specific manifestations. Thank you.